Love is when a person, animal, plants, or a movement continues to supply resources for consumption without expecting anything in return, not for profit. The resources do not necessarily have to be material things. Resources can be words of affirmation or provision of safety. Anything that serves as an acceptable means of satisfying a need or want is a resource. The willing consumption of these resources shows the effects of the force of love. The consumption satisfies a need, and the definition of love is fully met when all these aspects are presented. To guard against the misuse of love, one or two of these things can be presented. But if something is missing, then love is manipulated and misused. John 3:16 demonstrates these aspects. For this is how God loved the world. He gave his one and only Son, so that everyone who believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Jesus said, with this same love, we should demonstrate the same to God. He said, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. What are the aspects of genuine love? First, there has to be a supply of resources without any expectation of rewards. Next, the resources must satisfy a need and should be consumable. Then the recipients must be satisfied that the resources served its purpose. All these together constitute the things that we call love. Over the years, we were given all kinds of definitions. Some has aspects of the true definition but misses some key components. Others manipulated aspects of love for ulterior motives. So what is love? Having an expectation of receiving sources without providing for those resources is not love. Having the notation of entitlement is also not love. Providing resources that are not needed is not love. It is like providing fuel to an unwanted fire. Also, providing resources to a recipient who hates your resources is not love. Jesus continues this when he said, don't waste what is holy on people who are unholy. Don't throw your peers to pigs. They will trample on the pearls, then turn and attack you. Matthew 7 verse 6. Removing needed resources from vindictiveness is not love. Also, asking the question, what have you done for me lately? Or, what is in it for me? Is not love. Providing resources for ulterior motives such for profit or reciprocal benefits is not love. Most people assess an action or motives as not love when they don't feel that feeling that you feel when you think the other person loves you. Irrespective of the motives of the giver, if the recipient feels good about the gift, he or she perceives that this is love. But that is not love, because the assessment of the giver's motive could be misconstrued. Most time, the assessment is left up to the recipient and can lead to disappointments. Love is not any single part of the three aspects of love, but all three parts have to be presented for love to be manifested. It is for this reason why we are still hearing presentations on love. We need to redefine our understanding of true love. We should see that when the giver supplies these needed resources which are accepted with gratitude by the recipient, then love is manifested. One of the main reasons why marriage was instituted by God was for humans to participate the essence of love. Marriage should create families where the aspects of loving relationships will be easily facilitated. Other associations than a family also exist for love to be practiced, such as gatherings, family reunions, parties, ceremonies, etc. As for animals, they have they too have families and associations where they can practice and facilitate the aspects of love. Our world is a continuous activity of giving and receiving. The earth gives us resources so that the recipients can enjoy their existence. Humans should give because of love and not because of survival. When we harbor and hoard resources for our selfish existence and survival, we are protesting against the power of love. Jesus told us a story. A rich man had a fertile farm that produces fine crops. He said to himself, "What should I do? I don't have any room for all my crops." Then he said, "I know. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones. Then I'll have room enough to store all my wheat and other goods. And I'll sit back to say to myself, 'My friend, you have enough stored away for years to come. Now take it easy. Eat, drink, and be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, you will die this very night. Then who will get everything you work for?' Yes, a person is a fool to store up earthly wealth, but not have a rich relationship with God. Also, the evil one purposely sets up others to misrepresent the true aspects of love. Remember that the continuous supply of needed resources and the acceptance with gratitude of those resources by the recipients is the manifestation of love. Well, let us look at the opposite but similar process. What if a person or system continues to supply or feed you unacceptable resources such as neglect, discrimination, rebukes, dissensions, abuses, or hatred? The recipient will likewise continue to refuse those resources. This is the opposite to love. The recipient will hide from the giver and seek to escape the evil environment. These manifestations are the forces that contradict the definition of true love. In summary, for our godly roles to be realized here on earth, we cannot be driven by the feelings of the recipients or the need to sustain ourselves by not giving and supplying resources to others. We should be given by God's will for our lives and become resourceful and give without ulterior motives. Abstain from evil manifestations that present their actions as love. Also, getting married is not what you can get, but what you can provide and give to the family. Parents give to babies without hesitation, so it is without love. It is with love in general. So become resourceful so you can supply the needs for others and realize God's will for your life on this earth.